Hi guys, and I am F1 Ginge
I am Spider, F1 Ginger's friend, and we're talking all about F1 today.
on Turn One Talks F1. So the first thing we're actually going to chat about is rookie seasons, because there is some debate going on about the comparisons that are being done between Piastri's rookie season this year and legends such as Hamilton. I know you've got a bone to pick with this one.
Yes, first of all, I want to rant, okay? So, F1, this is on the official F1 Instagram channel, and they've posted this rookie points, and it's a breakdown of all of the rookies for seasons. And they've put Lewis Hamilton at 109 points at number one, and they've put Oscar Piastri, which you know I love, at 97 points, and they've done all the way down and blah, 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 blah. Now, new people come to F1 since DTS, since Drive to Survive, and I love that that's happened. I've been saying that F1 is amazing forever, and now loads of other people are seeing it. So I'm all for that. But when stuff like this happens, it's completely misleading. Yes, Piastri had a really good season. I said on the previous video that I was really impressed with how ice cold he was, and Lando needs to look out and all of that stuff. But the point systems were completely different when Hamilton had his rookie season. Completely different. You didn't even get 1 to 10 of points. It was 1 to 8, I think. So if you got 8, you didn't get anything, and if you got 9, you didn't get anything. So it's completely. Or you got 9 and 10, you didn't get 9 and 10. So it's ridiculous. So if you look at these points now, because we've gone out and we've done the math, and we have got them all there. So Lewis Hamilton, in his rookie season, got 109 points. He was equal with two-time reigning champion Fernando Alonso, who just retired the then greatest of all time, Michael Schumacher, and Hamilton actually beat him into second place based on wins or qualifications or however they worked that out. And they've got Piastri at 97 points. So you would think, oh my God. But remember, 2007 was widely regarded as the greatest rookie season in the history of the sport. No one's ever done a rookie season like that. So if you look at it, basically I've gone through and corrected the points using the new and old point system. Okay, so the first one, which looks so impressive, Lewis Hamilton, 109 points. If points corrected, Piastri was 2007, he would have got 29 points.
It's a bit of a difference in it.
I also did the math for the other way around. So if Lewis was on the point system for today, against Piastri's 97 points, he would have got 265 points. It's not
Honestly.
the same thing. It's not. You can't put it in second like that. That's the distance between their seasons, and it's so misleading. And to be fair to them, they have buried it in the small print, the tiniest little print. But if you looked at that, you looked at the image that's on there with Hamilton with his hand up and Piastri with his hand up next to him, it's a load of rubbish. You've got to look. It's leading people astray who I've only been watching for the last few years, and I don't think it's helpful. So there you go. Rant over. What have you got to say about it?
I mean, I personally, because I fell into that trap because I wasn't watching back when Lewis Hamilton had his rookie season, and I think a lot of people, like you said, because of Drive to Survive, its audience is massive now, and a lot of people would have seen that and thought, God damn, like Piastri is a machine. However, when you flagged it to me, I was like, oh my God, like that's not a small difference. That is an absolutely giant difference. And I think how they've put it on that graphic in particular, really, it doesn't do justice to what Hamilton actually achieved. And obviously back then there was fewer races. Like you said, the point system worked completely different. So yeah, I think in terms of rookie seasons, like, don't get me wrong, Oscar had a good one compared to others on the current scoring system. Like, he had a better one than Norris and Verstappen. But overall, no. No, no, no. It's
Yeah,
completely wrong.
it's ridiculous. And this is the thing. It is. And just to give you some context, right? Piastri wouldn't have been second with the new with the old point system. Albon would have been. Albon would have had 34 points compared to Piastri's 29.
Damn.
So that's 34 points compared to 109, and he would have been the second place. So when you look at Ocon would have been 28 points. When you look at Norris, would have had 12 points to Lewis's
That's unreal.
109. He would have had 49 compared to Lewis's 265 in the same year as him. Max Verstappen, 15 points on the old system compared to 109 in the old system.
That's just
He
unreal.
would have had 49 points also compared to 265 points. You know, it's not the same. And I don't know whether this is some conspiracy theory. We know the FAA don't really like Hamilton, but what is this? Is this to boost Piastri or is this to diminish Hamilton? What is it? But it's ridiculous. Anyway, if you've seen that and you're new to it, it's a load of rubbish.
I feel like, how do I say this? It didn't take us long to figure out the realistic points. They could have done that post and figured it out like we did and actually make it look a lot more accurate, because it is so misleading. Like, it didn't take us long at all.
Yeah. This is the other thing, right? When I looked at that, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, did Piastri do that well? So I looked at it and I thought, hang on a minute, the points weren't the same. It took me on first glance, I even looked at it and thought, wow, I didn't realise he was as close to that rookie season.
Exactly.
So yeah, but they had less races. They didn't have fastest lap points. They had awards, but not points. So yeah, no, it's a load of rubbish.
No, I'd agree. And yeah, for new F1 fans, sorry to say, like, don't get us wrong, we both love Piastri. We think he's going to be like unreal. However, let's call a spade a spade. It's comparing apples and oranges. It's not accurate. And like we said, we know that it was put in teeny tiny little writing at the bottom. But yeah, it's very, very misleading. Are there any other rookie seasons that kind of really stand out for you from before, I don't know, I started watching it?
So I remember Vettel's rookie season. I think Vettel won in his rookie season as well. I can't remember. He was only in the, what were they called then? Was it Toro Rosso? I think it was. So you could tell he was a hot one. Yeah. You could tell he was being a hot one. But the thing is, when it comes to rookie seasons, rookies do what they do. Most rookies, they come through and they're subservient to the number one driver, whoever it is. Then they try not to crash. They keep their nose out of it, and then that's what it is. And then you can see sort of signs. And I think it's actually a good testament to Oscar Piastri, because it's the first time for many years we've been looking at a rookie going, "Oh, this kid." Do you know what I mean?
But then you look at something really interesting that came out this week actually was Logan Sargent obviously had a really tough rookie season this year, and he's saying that the jump from F2 to F1 for drivers, he said it's too difficult. It's such a step up that it's why so many rookies struggle. And actually struggle to maintain their seat, because if they're not given the time to actually make that step up, they lose their seat before they get the chance to develop, which is part of the reason that he's been kept on at Williams for an additional year. And they quoted Oscar as well to say that he thought similarly, it is such a massive step up. But then you've also got, right now, you've got, I believe it's 3 F2 champions that have won in the past so many years that have not been able to come up to F1 because of available seats. So they're waiting in the wings. So what's the best way to get around that? Because obviously after F2, if they've won the championship, what options do they get if they can't get into F1? Because then they're never going to get the experience.
Maybe, yeah, but that's why they've brought in tests, haven't they? So they have to have their rookies or F2 academy drivers come in and do the tests on the last day. And I think it's about 3 races per year, maybe 4 races per year. Yes, that step up is big, that step up has always been big. It's one of those things. Some people handle it, some people don't. So so I get it, and it's great that actually the James Vowles has recognised that and has been like, well, we'll give you an extra chance, unlike Red Bull. But let's not get into them again. But it's good. That's forward thinking, and it's nice that he's like, you know what, that is a big jump. We need to give them more time. I like that. I'm all for that because we were both ready to just write Sargent off this year. So it's because it's quite cutthroat, but it's nice to see that, and it's a good point. It is a big jump, but other people have done it in the past, and it's the same for everyone. It's always been a big jump. It's always been a big gap. It's never been like you can't shorten that gap. You even need to make F2 cars and that formula closer to F1 because they're all the same cars pretty much. So that's the only way to do it, really. Or you do give them rookies double seasons. You give them a minimum of 2 years contracts. Maybe that's the way to do it. Get them a rookie season. Don't write it off, even if they're terrible, and then give them a next one. And that's the proving ground, the second one. So that's what I think maybe is the best way to do it.
Yeah, because then you've got the whole Nick de Vries situation that happened last year now. That was brutal. Like, that really was brutal. And like I said, fair play to James Vowles because he is looking longer term and he is letting people develop. And I mean, like, we were both surprised when Sargent's seat got reconfirmed for 2024. Because we know a lot of other teams wouldn't have done that. And then, like you say, everyone has to go through that process. And if you look at Piastri, he's had, he's challenged Norris this year. And, like, Norris is going into his 6th season at McLaren. Like, that is a hell of an accomplishment. So, yeah, how do we get more rookies entering F1? Because the seats are just not opening up at the moment. Even if they are winning the Formula 2 championships. And 2, I agree. I think there should be a 2-year kind of fixed contract to judge them before they can get booted off. Because I think that first year, from what they've been saying, the jump is quite substantial. And are we writing off potentially really good drivers?
You know what? I know what you're saying, and I'd like to see more rookies get through. But I like that it's difficult. I like that not everybody can do it because it keeps only the elite in F1, and that's ultimately what you want. It shouldn't be made easier for them to get up. We should give them more opportunities, or give them more opportunities to get in the car. So maybe they should be able to. They should open up the testing just for their people that are coming through from F2, because there's a ban on that. So maybe they should be allowed to have complete test days like they used to in the old days. It wasn't just 2 or 3 test days. They could just test as much as they wanted in private.
Yeah.
So maybe they should do that for rookies. Maybe they should have like a test day for rookies, more than one test day for rookies, like out of season. And maybe that's what they can do, is have more increased just rookies. So not taking away a practice from one of the F1 drivers, but maybe saying, okay, it's rookie day 1, and maybe they have 10 of them throughout the seasons for the top 10 rookie drivers from, or top 10 drivers from the F2. But I don't think they should make it easier in the sense to make the cars easy to drive. I feel like keep the elite. If you can't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's okay.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. But yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see, especially over the next couple of years, which rookies we get and get through and how they do. And do things need to change in regards to how they're actually managed? I think James Vowles, like you said, is a perfect example of probably how to do it right. And I think a lot of us, we cut off Logan Sargent. He could surprise us next season, but if they're never given the chance, we're never going to know. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Have an opinion. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And we will be back soon with some more F1 content.